Let me guess. You bought a nice camera, you likely probably spent good money on it, and it's been living its entire life on auto. Well, if that sounds familiar, not to worry, and you're not alone. You're not doing anything wrong, but today we're going to talk about why auto mode is holding you back and when it's time to move beyond it. Now, before we do that though, as always, thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, hey, I'm Alex, and this video is part of my Shoot Happen series. It's a collaboration or collection of short, straightforward videos designed to help beginner photographers actually understand their cameras and improve their skills without confusion or fluff. Now, if that sounds helpful, make sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe so you don't miss any future tips. Now, let's shift gears and start with what auto mode actually is. Well, auto mode is your camera making every single decision for you. Shutter speed, aperture, ISO, white balance, and sometimes even flash. It's designed to get you usable image in almost any situation. Honestly, that's a good thing when you're first starting out. Auto mode helps you focus on the basics, framing up your shot, understanding light, and getting comfortable with your camera actually being in your hands. It might be the best described as a safety net, and every beginner photographer needs that. And here's where auto mode starts to work against you. Your camera doesn't exactly know what you're trying to photograph. It doesn't know if your subject is moving, if you want blurry background, or if you're trying to freeze action. It's just guessing based on what it sees, the data that it's picking up. And that guess is usually designed to be safe, not creative. And that's why your photos might look technically fine, but also kind of flat or boring. You know what I'm talking about? Another big limitation is that auto mode, well, it constantly changes your settings without telling you why. 1 second your photos look sharp, the next it's blurry and noisy, and you have no idea what changed. That makes it really hard to learn because you're not connecting the results to the settings that actually caused them. And as you start improving, this becomes a big problem. When you move into modes like aperture priority, shutter priority, manual mode, you start telling the camera what matters most in your shot. You decide if you want a shallow depth of field. You decide if the motion should be frozen or blurry. You decide how much noise you're willing to accept. And that's when photography stops feeling random and starts feeling intentional. Auto modes, well, it teaches you how to take pictures. Manual and semi-automatic modes teach you how to make photographs. And here's something a lot of people, they don't realize. Moving out of auto doesn't mean that you have to go straight to full manual and struggle. Aperture priority, shutter priority are absolutely amazing stepping stones. They let you stay creative while your camera helps with the exposure. So if you've been stuck on auto, think about this. It's done its job. It's helped you get started. It's now time to give yourself more control and start shaping the image that you see in your head. Incidentally, you can start the process by checking the links in the description down below. We have tutorials on Photography Talk on aperture priority, shutter priority, program mode, and manual mode, and that will help you advance your skills that much further. All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to wrap this up for today. As always, thanks for watching. If this helped you, be sure to check out my other Shoot Happen videos and my additional instructional content for more practical photography tips. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if this video is helpful, do consider hitting the like button, subscribe. It really does help the channel reach more people just like you. With that said, friends, I am going to be shutting off these cameras, and I will see you in the next video.